Welcome to another edition of the Fortune Runner Wealth Podcast with your host, Tony Drake. Greetings and thank you for joining me at this new year, the 1st of January, 2019. And we're going to talk about an important subject that I know everybody has an interest in. So, to begin with, our topic for this talk is growing your financial embryo. And we're going to look at this in three respective categories. We're going to look at starting a business, we're going to look at an established business, and we're going to look at your personal financial edification. So let's start with one's personal financial edification. I believe where we stand right now in this world, particularly here in the USA, we have to now look at things very differently as individuals. We've got to develop some new skill sets. Every person should have a trade skill. Listen, hear me out. A trade skill, something that is valuable in the market in terms of a trade skill, hands on, and a technical skill, and a social media skill. That creates a well rounded position of usefulness no matter where you go in this world. If you have a trade skill, let's say you've learned how to fix cars, or you're an electrician, or a carpenter, or bricklayer, or agriculture. I mean, the categories are vast. Having a solid skill like that in the trade categories make you valuable to yourself and anywhere you go in this world. And then if we look at technical skills, I'm referring more to the IT industry, meaning coding, programming, cryptography, graphics and illustrations, SEO, SEM, anything in the computer related industries. Develop one of those skills, one that is most in demand. Let me give you an example. So I like to use various gig platforms like Fiverr and others. Well, there's a gentleman who's a SEO specialist on Fiverr, and he's not even top rated. This guy is making about $20,000 a month or more just doing SEO on Fiverr. Now, he could be on multiple platforms, but just on Fiverr, SEO, search engine optimization, and clearly he's very good at what he does. He doesn't charge a lot, but he gets the job done. And he has a skill he can take anywhere on this earth. It's portable, it's mobile, it's universal. So we need to have a trade skill, yes. We need to have a technical skill, yes. Doesn't matter what your age is. Remember, Udemy, udemy.com can teach you just about every kind of IT skill you'll need to function in that capacity. What I like to do is when I want to really learn something, I will take a course on Udemy and I will look at maybe 4 to 5 different authors who's giving their courses so that I'm very well rounded from different perspectives and different experiences and different approaches and various skill sets unique to each author who's giving the e-course. So let's say I want to know more about HTML or coding in the blockchain. So I'm going to look at what the top rated courses, and I'm going to take 4 or 5 of the top rated courses and look at the author's category of courses and take as many as I can. So totally, I might have 10 or 12 courses that I'm studying thoroughly, hands on, to develop my technical skills in the computer industry. Udemy can help you with that. And I can continue to expand upon that like a mosaic, like a puzzle. I have one piece that I've learned thoroughly and I'm practicing continuously and developing my skills. Now I'm adding another element and another element and another element until I've made myself invaluable. I cannot be replaced. That's for graphic illustrations. That's for SEO. That's for app building. That's for any technical skill in the computer industry. So I think everyone should have a solid trade skill, a solid technical skill, and thirdly, personal. One must make themselves personally valuable by doing what? Continuing to increase your knowledge, your health, your wealth, your freedom. Remember, I live by the principles of health, wealth, and freedom. And that when you control your time, your mind, and your money, you know freedom that most people cannot imagine. They cannot fathom your state of being on this planet because you have reached and immersed yourself in learning how to master your existence on this planet, thus freeing yourself from all of the mechanisms and machinations that enslave the masses. So, how do we do this personally? The first thing you must do is keep learning. You must learn the principles of real health and although not all of the misinformation that's being given in the media. You must learn your own body, how it works, how to take very good care of it, and not depend on doctors and healthcare insurance. Because health care is when you care for yourself, not when you go to the doctor after something has gone wrong. You must take care of yourself. And I say again, one of the most important things you can do to address some health issues is stop drinking and cooking with tap water. Drink spring alkaline and distilled water and cook with distilled water. And put high quality filters on your showers to filter out all of the pollutants and toxins in the water. That's a big move. Now, the rest of it, you will have to do your own research and study and learn and know your own body. I will not make any suggestions outside of water. I personally, I'm strictly vegetarian, or more importantly, I'm vegan. I eat no animals and no animal products. Period. So, what's another area that we can look into in the personal sphere? Well, let's get our personal credit in order. I mean, let's really get it in order. Let's walk through the steps and get that personal credit in order. The first thing you have to understand is do not use credit to finance big and large items as a consumer. You can use your credit strategically to make income, and from that income, you buy things. But you need to have multiple streams of income for the credit to work properly. Remember, credit and multiple sources of income are symbiotic in nature, they work together. You cannot depend on a job, which means temporary, versus the term work, as your livelihood and sustainability factor that you can rely on no matter what. We don't live in that time anymore. So it is important to have multiple sources of income. I mentioned Fiverr, I mentioned Udemy. If you have skills, you can go on to Udemy and see what it is that you can probably teach using your skills on Udemy. You can have 4, 5, or 6 courses or more, depending on your level of knowledge and skills that you can teach others that is valuable in the marketplace. And then on Fiverr, you can offer those skills. You see, on Udemy, you can teach them. On Fiverr, you can sell them. And you can't beat that. And those are just two platforms, just two. There are about 20 platforms like Udemy and Fiverr. And you can put your services on at least 5 of them. And I'm saying that because some of those platforms charge a monthly fee to teach and so forth. You don't want to do that initially. You want to go on platforms that take a percentage. So Udemy and Fiverr are just two. But I always like to do a research a practice that I use sites like. In other words, sites like Udemy. Then I'll look through them and see if they're compatible, see if they're good platforms, go from there. Same thing with Fiverr. Sites like Fiverr. Google search or Bing, and I find more information. And then you can determine how many of these you want. Those are revenue sources. Can you write a really good ebook, audiobook, and do a great video and distribute them on platforms like Vimeo, YouTube, Libre, and many others, Gumroad? The list is endless. Those are more pieces of the puzzle. They're what you like to call helping hands. And when you take those embryos and you keep building them by adding more and more value to that platform, using keywords, using social media to market, advertise, promote, and showcase your services and products continuously, doing 5 to 10 pieces of content every day that you put out through social media. You can use Craigslist to put ads on Craigslist. Social media is one of the most powerful, in the top 5 social media platforms being YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. You have to master all of those platforms. There's a course on Udemy on how to master those 5 platforms. There are many, but there's one in particular that teaches you how to use them all to make all of your content go viral. You see, I'm learning all of the time. So I'm sharing this information with you. You need as many revenue sources that you can possibly put your hands on and that you can imagine. Now, it is said that once you get 7 revenue streams, that your wealth will grow exponentially. But I like to go even further. I will say, create 25 revenue streams. When you create 25 revenue streams, you're free. Now, they begin embryonic, but you must grow them. And what I suggested in terms of taking social media and learning how to optimize social media and your content going through social media using podcasts like this one, and making sure that your podcasts are on the top 5 podcast platforms. The 5 top are iHeart, Google Podcasts. Some people didn't know that Google went into podcasting, but they are. iTunes, Spotify, and quite possibly Spreaker. There are others like TuneIn, Stricter, etc., but you want to make sure you're on the top 5. Now, those change from time to time, but you still want to be on the top 5. And then you have to know how to market your podcast. Now, within that, you can also have an app created. You can use companies that allow you to create your app and upload it up on platforms like Google Play, BlackBerry, Amazon, iTunes, etc., and make sure you market everything that you do through that app as well. So you have to really make your digital footprint to get known, because initially you're an embryo and you've got a lot of work to do. So we're going to stop right there and talk about another area that's very important, your personal credit. Get right back to that. Your personal credit has to be cleaned up. Doesn't matter what's on it. Liens, judgments, repos, credit cards, all of that can be removed. It's not hard as you think it is. The law says if you did not give them permission to put that information on your credit, they have to remove it. But you have to be consistent. Keep sending those letters. Keep sending those letters. Keep sending those letters. They're called letters of dispute, the proper letters. Now, those letters are not readily available. You have a few, but most of them are insufficient and won't work. So you need to be able to work with a company like Brightman Capital, who will help you do all of these things. And as I said before, the first 500 people who purchase our ebook earn $300 a day or night. Using your mobile smartphone device will get the credit cleaned up for free. That is our agreement with Brightman Capital. So go to Fortunerunner.com, get signed up, get your ebook, and get your credit cleaned up in a few months. That way, Brightman Capital can help you put what is called positive trade lines, etc., on your report to increase that credit score 650, 700, 725, 730, 735. But you have got to make sure that you're on top of it and you're paying close attention to the improvement of your personal credit through that process. Stay on it until it gets done. That way, you have access to capital. And from there, you can begin to build what is called business credit for your business, your LLC, your corporation, your limited partnership, whatever that legal entity is. We don't want to use a sole proprietor, but let's use other entities like the S Corp, the C Corp, the limited partnership, the limited liability company, etc., because it's a more legitimate entity that's used in business. You want to get your Dun and Bradstreet number, we can show you how to get that in 2 days for free. So again, all of these things you need to know to build your embryo into a full functioning entity, being that can work for you. And remember, the universe, just like money, doesn't need rest, don't need sleep, doesn't get sick, it's not racist, it's not hateful, it never gets an attitude. It can work for you 24/7, non-stop. That is why we want to build business, build credit, build business credit, create products and services, build multiple sources of income. That frees us. That's what your function should be in 2019. Again, if you want to contact us, email us at fortunerunnerllc@gmail.com. Thanks. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and add likes if you value the essence of what is shared on the Fortune Runner podcast. This is 2019. We will go much deeper and much broader. Success is necessary.